What's up, everybody? Slam Zany here. I'm back. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but I'm here again making some more gaming content on the channel. So if you're interested in that or want to see more, hit the subscribe button. You know what to do. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into it. This video is about the PlayStation 5. We're 6 months in. This is basically a review or overview of my thoughts on the PlayStation 5 so far and what it has to offer, okay? I'm gonna give some big pros and cons at the end, so stick around for that if you're looking for something like that to kind of help you make a decision on whether it's time to buy, because I know these things are really hard to get, and if you're trying to buy from the scalpers, please don't encourage these people. But I'm gonna get right into it. I managed to be one of the lucky few that got a PlayStation 5 back at launch. I managed to get a pre-order back when the pre-orders went up. Did not realize how lucky I was until now when I see how impossible this thing is to get. It's been 6 months. There have definitely been some ups and downs, and I just want to use this opportunity to talk about my thoughts on the system now that I've had a lot of time to spend with it. The PlayStation 5 launched with some pretty incredible games. Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon Souls, that kept me busy for a long time, and many of third-party offerings really looked incredible on the PlayStation 5. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, NBA 2K21, Call of Duty, they all felt great to play on the new system. They were cross-generational, if that's a word. But they worked on PS4 but had native PS5 releases, so there were some big upgrades to those games, so that was cool. Nice to have those at launch. I had plenty to play back in November when the system came out. Since launch though, there hasn't been much, especially in terms of first party games. Usually I would consider the first 6 months of the system to be the launch window, and therefore would expect a little bit of first party support in the months following the launch of the new system, but we didn't really get that, unfortunately. There was a bit of a drought after launch, and that was a bit disappointing because I found the majority of the games I was playing throughout the first 6 months were PlayStation 4 titles. Persona 5 Strikers, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and Nier Replicant. Those have all been huge highlights of great games I've played since the launch of the PlayStation 5, and not a single one of them had native PS5 releases, unfortunately. Luckily though, that all seems to be changing a bit. Returnal launched with mostly positive reception, and as a huge Housemarque fan and proud owner of the Resogun Platinum, I enjoyed my time with Returnal, but found its difficulty a little too much at times. Sure, I understand I should just, get good, but I'm all for that if it seems fair. But there were far too many times I felt Returnal was unfair, given that a 3-hour run could be taken from you in a matter of seconds if you end up in an unlucky procedurally generated situation, or if the game crashes, or if you put it in rest mode when you went to bed and the game needed to update, and then your whole run is gone. So don't even get me started on that. It's happened to me a couple times. Was not great. Returnal overall was a blast to play though. I do also want to mention and talk about Ratchet and Clank briefly. It's coming soon, and the game looks incredible, and it's exclusive to the PlayStation 5, so expect that it plans to take full advantage of what the system has to offer. Sony also showed off new Horizon Forbidden West gameplay, and that also looks great, so I think the games are coming. It's just taking a little longer than we would have hoped. Something else I wanted to mention is the lack of services Sony has at their disposal. Game Pass is blowing up right now and is likely the best value in gaming, period, but Sony doesn't have anything remotely close to competing with it. PlayStation Now exists and has been transformed into a different type of service than its initial offering, but it still isn't quite where it needs to be, and Microsoft's selection of games on Game Pass is just incredible. Not to mention the fact that recently a longtime Sony exclusive in MLB The Show just launched on Game Pass, while Sony users on PlayStation were charged $70 for the same game. It's incredibly surprising to me, honestly, that Sony does not have a competing service, in my opinion. I should also mention just how hard it is to get a PlayStation 5 still. I know several people that are still trying to get their hands on one and can't. I think it's quite disappointing that it's taking this long to meet demand, and I know that scalpers and chip shortages have a heavy hand in this issue, but I would really like to see Sony step up their game in the production side of things and get these out to more people. And I don't want to end on a negative note. I know the last couple things I hit on were downers, but to be honest, the PlayStation 5 is a blast. It runs PlayStation 4 games significantly better. It's much quieter. Performance on PlayStation 5 games is great. The new DualSense controller is something that I could have never imagined. I mean, Returnal with the DualSense is just incredible. So yeah, I'm enjoying the PS5. Definitely don't regret getting it. So I want to close out this video with some pros and cons. I'll start with the pros list. The PlayStation 5 is great from a hardware standpoint. It was ugly and unappealing to me at first, but it's grown on me. The controller and its haptic feedback are incredible and are one of the most next-gen features in my opinion, period. The exclusive games like Demon Souls, Returnal, Astrobot, they really feel incredible and a huge step up from last gen. And lastly, on the pros, all my PS4 games run much better on the PS5 with better frame rates and significantly improved performance all around. I made it a point to go back, take all my PlayStation 4 games, run them on the PS5, and on many of them, the majority of them, just ran better without any work needing to be done on my part. They just looked, felt, and ran a little bit better. So let's close out with the cons. Being an early adopter of the PlayStation 5 really feels like being an early adopter of a console, if that makes sense. There were some issues with rest mode at launch. Not many games are taking advantage of the new hardware, and getting one is still incredibly difficult. Next con. The launch lineup and support in the launch window has been minimal, with a couple of true next-gen feeling games. You know, if my PS4 wasn't on its last leg, I would have likely waited for a while to get this, but I was excited to get the PlayStation 5. My PS4 sounded like a jet engine there toward the end, and I knew it was time to get a new one. Last con, the hard drive is so small. I constantly find myself deleting games after I finish them to make room for the next thing. External hard drive support or storage expansion really needs to be a priority and an option for the PlayStation 5, and soon. Microsoft launched with an option for storage expansion. It's really expensive, but at least the people that need it or want to spend the money to get it have the option. There's no option for storage expansion. You can't run PlayStation 5 games off of external hard drives. It is incredibly disappointing, and managing storage on this thing is a nightmare. But that's it. You know, those are my pros and cons. That's how I feel about the PlayStation 5. All in all, I'm really happy with the PlayStation 5 and what it has to offer. What I'm most happy about, though, is its potential. I can really see a glimpse of what we're in for with Returnal and what I've seen of Ratchet and Clank. I can't wait to get more PS5 exclusives, but I think for the foreseeable future, the PlayStation 5 needs to be easier for consumers to purchase. It really needs to be easier to obtain. But yeah, until next time, I'm out.